Yeah, it's your boy Nefew, and I just jumped out the port with Dirty Glove Bastard. Naw Fr.
Hold me a 4, can't drink no zip, I don't pump silk, I'm poured up money. I hit the block with a big vibe, they'll take for the.
All right, so we got Nefew jumping off the porch with us today.
Naw Fr.
How you feeling, bro?
Man, shit, good. How about you?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Nah, I appreciate you swinging by today, man. You know, we've
Sure,
been supporting you for
likewise.
the longest, man.
You know, I fuck with y'all.
Nothing but love when you come by, man.
You know, I fuck with y'all. I been fucking with y'all since I was like a young nigga.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
Nah, man, that's what's up, bro. All right, man, so Atlanta native, right?
Born and raised.
Born and raised from the Southside, I believe,
Naw
right?
Fr, old Nat, 5275.
Okay. So let's go back, man. So young Nefew, growing up on the South Side. So what were you into as a kid growing up there?
Shit, the typical shit any young nigga growing up into, whatever you see around you, like whatever the niggas you inspired by into, that what you into, whether it's clothes or whatever the influence is in the music, whatever music got at the time. Know what I mean, back then I'm into Jabos, whatever Cash Money was talking about, know what I mean, shit like that. Whatever I hear the older nigga talking about, like in the yard and shit, that's what I'm into.
Yeah, I feel that.
For
Man.
sure.
So when would you say you jumped off the porch? How old were you at the time?
Shit, I jumped out the porch, and when I jumped out the porch, it ain't like I wanted to jump. I got pushed out the porch. Like it was really like more forced than choice. Know what I mean? Like, and that was like around, I said like 15, about 14, 15. I first went to jail. I had just turned 17, so I was old enough to go to Wright Street. So I was already thinking, like Metro, all that thinking.
So what was that experience like going in when you're 17? Probably one of the youngest ones in there.
Shit, I ain't even really know what to expect, but I already knew I had to be ready for whatever. I mean, I wasn't on no crime shit. I ain't supposed to be here. I knew I was supposed to be there. I mean, all the shit that I got away with, I'm like, shit, yeah, I am. Nigga, here. Yeah. Shit, nigga supposed to be here though. What it is, what it is.
Yeah, so why do you say you were like pushed off the porch then? Why'd you feel like you had to do it?
Circumstances, know what I mean? You know, some niggas like, they be in the street, like, cause they wanna be in the street, they can go home. Know what I mean? I ain't taking nothing from my mama, but you know, we went through, like, if you listen to my music, like, it ain't hard to tell I had a rough upbringing. Know what I mean? Like, sometimes we weren't always stable, so we'll bounce around and shit like that, get split up. It's just me, my mama, and my big sister. Know what I mean, me and my sister, we 6 years apart.
Oh, wow.
So we'd be getting split up and shit, like, it was just ugly. So it was like, school didn't work because, like, how you finna be thinking with school? Like, when you finna come home, you don't know if y'all shit finna be outside, you finna be like, they wanna stay in school. So that's when I jumped out the porch, like middle school and shit, just thinking, like not giving a fuck type shit. Yeah. And I ain't discrediting my mama or nothing, so don't take it like that. She did all she could. I mean, but I feel like a woman can't raise a man. I mean, yeah.
So when you jumped off there, like, did you have some big homies, OGs?
Yeah, for sure. I had plenty like male influences around me, like my uncles. Like all my uncle partners, they became my partners, like up to now. Like all my uncle partners. Yeah. For sure.
You know, you've been through a lot in the streets too, man.
Wait, you
like,
see a big ass bullet in my neck.
Yeah.
Steel in my neck. I'm a walking testimony around this beat.
Nah, definitely, man. So like, what was that experience like? And more so, what was going through your head during that
You talking about when I got shot?
Yeah.
Shit, it's like what every other person who got shot explained. Like it's like a burning sensation, numbing. Like when it hit me on impact, like I thought I died. I thought I was dead already. I'm like, what the fuck, boom. I couldn't move, like my nerves gone, everything gone. You know what I mean? Like turn off the car, can't turn the steering wheel. That's how my body was, like somebody turned me off, like when nothing worked. Type shit, only for like, I said like 2 minutes, then I was able to move and shit again, move my fingers and shit. Like, I got hit in my neck, like in the back of my neck, but by the grace of God, that big curve, and it's still right. I could have been got it took out, but shit, this shit remind me, like I wanted to keep it in.
Yeah, just lucky not even paralyzed or anything like that.
And the doctor said if that bitch would have went down like an inch, I would have been paralyzed. I'd be a vegetable like this bitch.
That's wild.
But they God though.
So how long did you have to sit in the hospital for that?
Man, I was in that motherfucker for a day. They discharged me the same night. I was back on my block where I'm from, like, back thugging the same night with my fat, like, dead serious. Oh, same night, I'm back, type shit. So, they gave me a script of some perk out the door.
So looking back at it today, like what's the biggest takeaway, the biggest lesson you learned by having to go through that situation there?
I'd say the biggest lesson I learned from that, don't take life for granted. Like, don't just do shit just at the spur of the moment. Just think all the way through whatever you're doing, think it all the way through. You know what I mean? Playing all the way to the end, that's in the 48 Laws of Power, like playing all the way to the end. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. And you had to go sit down for a while too, right?
Yeah, I did all type of little scripts. I ain't never just did no long ass 5-year scripts or nothing, but all the times I done been locked up, like you look at my rap sheet, my shit like long as fuck, but the crazy part about it, I ain't no convicted felon. That's the crazy part about it, like my shit long as fuck. So I say out of like all the times I done been arrested, like I done probably did like 3 years, like with all the time combined together, yeah. I done been on Right Street. I was down there raised on Right Street. Like I was raised in the street where I get locked up, I get gang from older people and they're like, it's like when you're in the street, you looking for a father. Yeah. Like when you ain't got one. So that was like when you going to jail, when you talking to older people down there looking for a father. So whatever they can give you, you finna like take it in. Like, taking it in jail, streets, wherever I'm at. I mean, just soaking this shit up.
Yeah. You've been home for a while now, right? Like you haven't had any mishaps
man,
recently.
I ain't had no run-in with the law since I've been signed the basic loaded record, man.
Sure.
When they found me, man, I was on probation. The first day I met them, when I signed the shit, they told me to shoot my probation officer information. Next thing you know, she called me like, well, congratulations, Mr. Mills, you on probation. Well, one thing though, give me tickets to your shows and all that type of shit. Yeah, I don't know what he told them folk, but yeah, shout out to OG, D, basic load, chopper loaded.
Yeah. So how'd you get plugged in with D, or how did they discover your music? How did that whole situation?
I had reached out to him. I had looked up the number and shit back when it was like public and shit. I looked up the number, found them folk like, hey, you looking for some talent? He like, we always looking for talent. He like, you got some music? I'm like, hell yeah, I just did a hard ass song called Slime. That's all I had. I ain't even had no more music. I just
That was the only song you had?
Yeah, I lied. So all I really had was that one song. But he was like, she got some music. I'm like, hell yeah, I got plenty of music. Like, I had that one song, and I know that motherfucker, I knew it would eat. I knew it would eat. I sent it to him. He didn't hit me back the same night. I think he hit me back the next morning or the next day after that. Then he was like, shit, how old am I and shit like that. Asked me my background and shit like that, and we went from there. Yeah, I've been signed to him ever since.
Okay. Yeah, and speak on, just building that relationship with D, man.
Man, D like my father. Like when I see Baby and Wayne, Wayne's situation, I get it. Like when other people be like, oh, he little boy and Wayne or whatever the case is, whatever they situation. I get it. When he called him his dad Pop and shit, like I get it. Like that's shout to daddy. Like you can't tell him that ain't his dad. Type shit. Like whenever like a older person, male step in your life and like teaching you shit that your father supposed to teach you, like D be like putting me down on all type of shit as a man, not fuck as an artist. Like when you sign to some big labels and shit, I don't give a fuck about your real personal life, your livelihood, and like your real well-being outside of music. Like shout out there outside behind the music, like involved. Like I fuck with him for life.
Way deeper than just
I
rap.
probably crashed out by D.
You mentioned Cash Money, man, as like being a big influence.
Yeah, for sure.
What was it about them that kind of drew you in, man?
Man, the white tees, just the simplicity, you know what I mean? And I'm big on that. Like when you see me, you don't see me just design it down. Like right now, I got an all white L41 white tee. I believe less is more. You see how big ass chain? Like the hell I need
It
some
pops
logo
on the white.
Yeah, like it'll take from it. Anything else will take from it. You know what I mean? So like that's why I like white tees and simple shit, just how they were coming. They might have on a white tee with a fitted on to the back with the bandanas on, like just how they were coming, just thugging and talking about what's around them, like the nigga surroundings, like the typical surrounding when you in the hood. Mm-hmm. I just like how they like painted the picture and made you feel like you there, like Juvenile, that song Ghetto Children. He was like, sit in, I'm gonna be thugging down the ghetto children, behind, I mean, like, yeah, you feel like you down the project with them. BG, Chopper City, like all that shit. And I got that from my uncle though. Like my uncle, I didn't know the shit about them, but when you around when you young and around who you around, you gotta listen to what they listening to. You don't know, got your own brand who you wanna listen to. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right, so how old were you when you finally went ahead and decided, you know, to hit the studio or start recording songs for yourself then?
That crazy. Like when I first started making songs and shit, I wasn't going to the studio. I had a laptop. Like somebody from my hood like was already making music and shit, and then I already found the sauce on that. Get a laptop and download Mixcraft. Now I mean, it was a program named Acid.
Okay.
So I had to download Mixcraft, free trial, and was just downloading little beats and shit. Like I'd probably make me a little beat on Fruity Loops, cause the person from my hood making beats on Fruity Loops. So I either rap on his beat, or make me a little beat, little weak ass beat on Fruity Loop, rap on that beat, bounce it down, that's a song. And I was in middle school, like 7th grade, made my first song.
Oh, wow. Okay. So who gave you the name Nefew?
It was always my name. It was just given to me like when I spoke on my uncle, like these street niggas, like his name D. So when we on the block and shit, like it got to the point when I jumped out the Porch and I'm out there with him, type shit. So the players and shit to pull up, he ain't out there, I'm out there. They be like, what D at? I'm like, I'm D. They're like, no, you ain't, you Nefew. Type shit, and it just went from there. Everybody like, it's so natural, like then nobody like say that's what they gonna call me or nothing. Like I'm like his shadow, so that's D, that's Nefew, type shit. And that's how it happened.
I got you, man. And you actually wrote a definition of it while you were locked up?
I wrote definition of it locked up in Wright Street, man. And it's so crazy because like the reason different songs got different feels because I was on different floors. I might get sent to the hole. I wrote slime. That's why I got that quarter, that slime feel, because you gotta be whatever on that sound flow. Like you gotta be with whatever type shit. You gotta be prepared to hit as soon as you walk in there. It might be on that type of time. As soon as you walk in there, nigga might go on your sheet type shit. So you went slime, like with whatever, like I'm slime one of these nigga had type shit. I'm slime right now. While I'm on this sound flow, I'm one of these niggas. I'm taking nigga comments, I'm slime right now. So I get back down to the population. I gotta survive, get up out that beat. So you gotta, like one of the songs I got called Jungle, I said something about being a chameleon. You gotta adapt to change any color, like you gotta adapt to the circumstances. And that's why in Slime, it was like just so gutter, because I adapted to some circumstances up there. You up there with the niggas who really probably finna go down the road type shit. Like niggas now who done stabbed up they bunk mate, niggas who got batters and shit. I'm in there on some weak burglary shit. I'm probably in there on a dope charge, because every time I get locked up, I'm in there on different shit. But it was mostly dope charges and shit like that. So I'm in there on some little weak drug charges, you know, with these battling filmers. I mean, nigga ain't finna just try. It's always been inbred to me, like to never go out bad. You know what I mean? So in my head, I just never wanted to go out bad. I'm a man first. You know what I mean? So slime, that's why I wrote that. That's why when you hear it, like, damn, like you just got that quarter, just that grit. You can hear it and you can feel it. And I'm known for that in my music. Yeah.
So were you rapping these songs while
locked up? Yeah, I was rapping.
Too?
That's the crazy part about it. Like when I got up there, I'm thinking I'm already preparing myself, psych my mind out to be ready to hit every day. I'm really up there on some defensive shit, like in the little thing, I'm like, wait, like, but they really ain't like that nigga really fucking with me. Like nigga might ask me somebody from when they ask me where I'm from, and they be like, oh, so you know Shout? I'm like, yeah, that's my folk. Nigga, we in the same game, like that. So I be writing shit, like, nigga, what you writing? Like, you wanna hear this shit? What would I be in the color, like, know what I mean? They be like, they fucking with that shit. So at nighttime, they be like, hey bro, hit that motherfucker again. I'm like, hit that slime one more time. I hit that bit like that. My background, like most of that shit I wrote in jail. Like, I didn't like write it with no intentions to get money or get signed or nothing. It's just something that I really wanted to do. That's how you get the best music. Like when you're doing something that you want to do, it's a saying that like when you do it for money, God leave the room. You know what I mean? Like when you really passionate about the shit, that's when the magic come, and that's something I really was passionate about. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I never said this like on record. God strike me down if I'm lying. I wrote this shit down that I was gonna sign the basis loaded record while I was locked up. I wrote down how I was gonna sign, who I was like. I really wrote that shit down. When I got out, I would say probably like 2-3 months later, I signed the basis loaded record, bro. And like niggas who I was locked up with, I could show you DMs. Like they like, bro, you really did that shit, bro. You did everything you said. Come in there telling them, nigga. I'm like, bro, when I get out, I'm finna take out, bro. I'm finna rap for real, like dead serious. like, nah, for real, I'm finna like to really like do this shit. Like nigga just think nigga just popping in the air. When I got out, made that shit happen. Like even my bump mate, every time I bump into this nigga, like he be like, bro, you really did that shit. But like this shit crazy, bro. I be telling nigga like you my bump mate, and just telling him like the struggle. Like nigga don't be believing me, bro. Like bro, take my number, just FaceTime and nigga, I put him down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that, I always been that type of person. Like when you try to get your clout tokens off me, you can get them. You know what I mean? Cause I would want to be like that if I wasn't Nefew and like shit. When I call you, just pick up. I'm finna tell that hoe that I know you. I do know you though. Just pick up their FaceTime. I be like, yeah, that's my brother. I done did that with plenty of my partner. Yeah, that's my man. It's like you tripping, fuck with him. Yeah. Like that, yeah.
Manifestation's real, man.
It's real.
So you gotta put that shit out in the universe, and it's gonna come back to you.
Like
man.
if you can like really like envision some shit, like if you can really envision it, you can like reel that shit into your reality. Like I'm living proof. Like everything I'm doing, like I done envision that shit from the lamb truck. Like all type of shit, the big bankroll, like the jewelry, like I done rapped about this shit on H2O. I ain't had no jewelry. I was like, what I say? They got a little H2O running through my chain. I ain't have a lick of jewelry. You know what I mean? I was talking about H2O, and it was inspired by rocking jewelry. I wanted to wear jewelry. I mean, Cash Money wore jewelry. You know what I mean?
At the 2 Rolexes.
You know what I mean? 2 of them bitches all like this. It's like shit. So yeah, like whatever you can like envision, you can manifest that shit into your reality. Like fuck with any outside influencer tell you like fuck. I'm here to tell you, fuck with your mama and daddy telling you on that tip when it comes to chasing your dream. Like on the other shit like school and shit, like listen to them, cause they care about your well-being, like your real well-being for real, and your best interest. But as far as your dreams, chase your dreams. And like if you can really vision yourself doing it, don't let nobody tell you nothing different.
Real shit,
I'm here to tell you that.
Yeah. So Partments, man. What
man.
was the inspiration on this song? And did you expect this one to be the one that really
that was
put
the
you
first
on the
song
map?
after Slime, cause I told you I ain't had no more music. After I sent them Slime, they just reeled them in. They were like the worm on the pole. Bitch out there, I got D, like he beat the worm was Slime. So he was like, "You got some more music?" I'm like, "Hell nah, I ain't got no more music though." Laughing about it. He was like, "I'm finna book you the studio for 2 weeks." Then before I signed anything. So boy, he booked the Blue Room. The first day, this the first studio day. It's time to goddamn, I gotta get signed. You know what I mean? So hit the studio. Shout out Self to Shelf. You know what I mean? That's who the producer behind my background on Definition of it. And that's who studio I was recording at before I got signed. I ain't never shouted them out on records, so I just want to do that. Shout out Self to Shelf. You know what I mean? But we at the studio. D sent me that beat. So I done already wrote something to that beat. The next day I gotta go to the studio. So we went to the studio, we walked in that bitch. I had a different manager at the time, because when I signed to Basic Loaded, he appointed me a manager and he just my CEO. So we in the studio, I send the Partments beat to the engineer. Pull that bitch up, I go in the booth. Can't speak on everything I did. I came out that jungle for real, like, it was like I wasn't even in my body, bro. Like, it's like I wasn't even in my body. It was like a movie on, I'm narrating that bitch. Like, it's like I left my body, bro. Like, when I did that shit, like, I don't even know how. Like, I've been trying to make another one, but it's just so hard, because, like, I'm not going through what I was going through then. I wouldn't say I wouldn't have as much to prove what I had, because I still got the same shit to prove. It's just different, bro. Like, I left my body making that song, bro. Like when I made that shit, even that shit I said about my daddy, bro, like, that shit was real. You know how they say sometimes, like, it say, like some rappers say, when you ask them how long it took them to make the album, they say my whole life. It took me my whole life to make that song. That song was like a mixture of everything that I've been through in my whole fucking life, dog. Like, everything, that's me laying everything on the line. Like, who I am as a person, like, my character, why I am the way I am. Nah, I mean, like, if you listen to the Partments, to somebody who don't know me, if you want to get to know Nefew, you're going to listen to the Partments. Nah, I mean, like, that's how that shit came about. Oh, so when I'm at the end of the first verse, I'm into the hook, and the Partment that came on my shoulder. Boy turned me on to the YOLO. Buzz is my uncle. Some folk, I want to clear that up too, because some folk, when they hear that song, they be saying, Bug turned me on to the Yola. Nah, Bugs. But some people call them Bugs too, because they ain't know it was Bug. That's my uncle. Like, that's what I was saying, turned me on to Yola. Bug turned me on to Yola. D walk out the room, walk out the studio. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? You ain't feeling this shit. What the fuck? So goddamn, it kind of fucked me up when he walked out the studio. I fucked up. I'm like, shit, run that bitch back. I'm like, shit, fuck that shit. If you don't fuck with this shit, I'm finna just keep this song and just push on with that bitch. So by the time he came back into the studio, I'm done with the song. So I see some papers, like some little thick little papers like that. He come in and put that bitch on the table. I'm like, oh, that's the contract. That was enough for him.
You heard that one verse.
That one verse. I wasn't even done with the song. He was going to get the contract. He came back in there, put that bitch on the table. I was like, man, that was probably like one of the best highlights of my life. Like, when somebody be saying like they genuinely happy. Like, I was genuinely happy. Like, felt like, yeah, I knew I could do this shit and I did it. From everything I was saying to jail, I knew I could do that, like, and it happened. Like, I did it, and it was on me. Didn't nobody do that. Didn't nobody introduce me to him. I found him myself. Can't nobody take no credit for none of that shit. Like, even my whole career, like, he could take credit for some shit and me. Just me and him. Can't nobody take credit for shit so they made a nigga or nothing. Like, this shit's great Nefew and D.
Yeah. Nah, for real, man.
Bass load, chopper load, Naw for real.
So another one of your big influences, man, Bankroll Fresh.
Man, long live Fresh, man. Yeah. Everybody know, like, when you just like, you can look at a nigga and say, like, Fresh inspired me. Like, you can look at some folks and say he look like me, like, we twins. Like, I really fucked with bro, like, for real.
Yeah. What was it about his music that drew you in, man?
The same way that about my music is draw other motherfuckers in, like, the authenticity, the originality. Like, you know, when bro was that's when the auto-tune singing shit was just coming, like, hitting the scene big. Mm-hmm. So it was like, he going up against that, and I just liked it, that, like, it's like a superhero, like, going against it, like, the majority, going against that shit and conquering, though. Like, I love that shit. I'm looking at that shit like a superhero, because everybody else, like, you gotta understand what type of courage it takes to go against the majority or something that's already going on. You know how easy it is, like, to follow some shit versus be yourself. That's why I said on that song on Honeycomb Braids that, like me, before I follow the crowd, I'd rather go the wrong way. It's a dick round marathon. Nah, for real. Free braids, by the way.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about this new single, Naw for real, man. So yeah, what was your inspiration, creative process going into this one?
Shit, I say we'll make it Naw for real. Like, I want to, like, come like a whole new me, but, like, popping shit, but, like, still keeping it street. And, like, Naw for real, like, that's an ad lib that you hear on, like, mostly all my music. Since my very first mixtape definition of it. You know what I mean? But this time I wanted to make it stick. And what better way to do that than make a whole song called Naw for real.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And basically Naw for real, like, another word for no cap, like, you really meant what you said.
It looks like fans are eating this shit
man,
up
what?
too, man.
Eating it. Like I knew they would. You know what I mean? Naw for real.
Yeah, going back to Honeycomb, I see he's showing it some love from behind the walls.
That was his daddy. That was Honeycomb daddy. Everybody
that was his dad?
Yeah, that was his daddy. Everybody thought it was him. A free big Honeycomb. That big Honeycomb, who we be talking about.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, they look like twins. You know
They
what I mean?
really do.
Yeah, that was everybody thought that was him. That was his daddy.
Yeah. So you giving away some money for like the best video? What's going on?
I don't know, cause I'm finna enter the contest too. So
You gonna enter the contest?
Yeah, mine harder, I might win. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm giving out 1K.
Okay.
So may the best video win. But I'm entering the contest too.
Okay. So they gotta compete with you.
Mm-hmm.
So like, are you working on a new project right now? New tape, EP?
Man, right now, like, I believe in, like, algorithm. So, like, right now, the algorithm is singles. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be crazy to put out a project right now, even though it'll be for the culture. Like, it's not the direction I'm going right now. I'm trying to do something like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I'm working on singles right now, like, straight just bangers, like big singles. Cause you gotta think about it, like, if a nigga ain't got a whole bunch of hot singles, why drop a project and it ain't gonna chart how you need to chart. And I look at it like, no look is better than a bad look. Just like on the chessboard, like you wait, no move better than a bad move. Yeah. Just to please a few motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
Nah, definitely, man.
But eventually, yeah, y'all get another project from it, you know what I mean? Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
All right, so last year you had signed with Def Jam. What's the current status with them?
Right now it's just bass load. You know what I mean? Bass load, chop load. But shout out Def Jam though. You know what I mean? I fuck with them. Shout out Def Jam. They ain't do nothing wrong. It was just like me and bass load, we was going in a different direction. You know what I mean? But it wasn't no beef or nothing like that. It was just like we was just going in a whole different direction.
Say no more.
Shout out Def Jam.
Yeah. You know, I gotta ask you about Soulja Raggs, man. Went viral last year.
Man.
Brought the tank to the hood, to the Partments.
Man, I'm the first and only nigga that done ever did that. Like, y'all better put some respect on my name. I brought tanks to the Partment.
Real tanks.
Real tanks, 2 of them bitches. I mean, went viral, you remember?
Yes,
went
I do.
viral, like, yeah.
So what was your reaction when you saw, like, the Shade Room posting this shit? Like, baller alert. Like,
I ain't gonna cap. I felt I was a little bit, it was like bittersweet because I was happy too because that was my video. They didn't know it was a video shoot.
yeah, they didn't know it was video. They wasn't tagging you, nothing.
Yeah, they weren't tagging me.
They didn't know what the hell was going on. They just see people on tags in Atlanta.
Like, hold on, man. Anything else, somebody else ain't happen, they gonna tag them folks. Y'all gonna give me my little shit. Like, come on now, this my debut. I just snapped. I just brought 2 tanks to the Partment. Come on now, at least tag a nigga. You know what I mean? Meet Mill said some shit. Like, everybody, that shit went by. I didn't even know it was gonna go viral like that. Basically, me and Trouble and Bucci, we shooting the video for Soulja Raggs in the Partments. I had brought them tanks out though. That was me and D. We brought them tanks out though. We did that. I mean, I can't tell you how, but we did. But while we were recording, it was a little young nigga recording on his phone. He didn't know that was me either. He didn't know who the hell. He was, like,
he was far away recording.
But he folk done stole these folk tank and posted it. Went viral from there, like out of here. What that boy, what that boy throw us, Future say, Weezy out of here. Like, they be out of here. Out of here. Shout out Future, man.
All right, so, you know, we're approaching the new year, man. So what's some plans, some goals you got for 2022?
Man, just keep on popping my shit, being me. Being more, like, active on social media, you know what I mean? Like, more interviews, working with more artists, you know what I mean? Just being a better version of Nefew. Just like coming back for everything that I didn't get the first go around.
Yeah.
I mean.
I feel that, man. All right, so you got any last words for your fans? Any shout outs you like to give before we wrap it up here?
Man, stay tuned, man. I got so much of this shit on the way. You know what I mean? Keep on streaming Naw Fr. And shout out the whole Atlanta, you know what I mean? Like, this ass shit right now. Shout out the whole Atlanta. Everybody, you know what I mean? I ain't got no outside here. Atlanta, I'm Atlanta's nephew, you know what I mean? Shout out the whole, hey man, Naw Fr. Oh, and shout out Dirty Glove Bastard, man. Y'all know it.
For sure.
Naw Fr.
Homie, a folk can't drink no zip, I don't pump sip, I'ma pour it up money. I hit the block with a big egg on vibe. They'll take for the grill, yeah, the motherfucker egg.